Hello and welcome back to Senior Wellness. It is wonderful to have you with us today. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, am I doing something that turns people off without even knowing it? Something that makes others uncomfortable, yet no one has the heart to tell you? As we age, we all fall into habits. Some are beautiful, born of experience, patience, and wisdom, but others creep in quietly. They start small, harmless even, until one day they become part of who we are, and we don't even see the damage they leave behind. You might think this is just me being me, but the people around you, your kids, your grandkids, your friends, they notice, they feel it. And even if they stay silent, their silence speaks volumes. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 12 toxic habits that often surface in old age. The kind that make people uncomfortable, cause emotional distance, and slowly strip away the grace and dignity you've spent a lifetime building. No, I'm not talking about wrinkles or gray hair. I'm talking about the behaviors that erode connection, that make people walk on eggshells, that leave you wondering why no one calls back or wants to stay a little longer. But here's the truth. Most of these habits can be changed, and it all starts with awareness. My name's Jack, and I'm here not to judge, but to offer a mirror. One that lets you look closely and ask, is this helping me stay close to the people I love, or is it quietly pushing them away? So stick with me to the end, because just one insight, one shift, could reignite your relationships, restore your presence, and remind the world of the strength and beauty that still lives inside you. Before we start exploring simple ways to stay healthy and well, I'd be truly grateful if you could take a moment to like this video. That small gesture helps more people just like you discover these gentle, useful tips. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, whenever we share something new, you'll be the first to know, and we'd love to have you with us. Now let's dive in. Number 1. Dominating or frequently interrupting conversations. The desire to share our experiences and insights is natural, especially with the wealth of knowledge gained over many years. However, this eagerness can sometimes lead to unintentionally monopolizing conversations. It might start subtly. Someone raises a topic you know well, and you jump in with a story or detailed advice. Before long, significant time has passed, and others have had little chance to contribute. This pattern often stems from a genuine wish to be helpful, not from ill intent. The challenge is that consistently taking up excessive conversational space can inadvertently silence the very people we wish to connect with. They will likely not tell you directly. Instead, you might notice a gradual distancing, fewer calls, shorter interactions, without understanding the cause. People yearn to feel heard and valued, not simply lectured. When conversations consistently become one-sided, it can erode the relationship dynamic. This is particularly true with younger generations who might already feel hesitant about bridging generational communication gaps. The solution is not necessarily to speak less, but to listen more actively. Practice pausing, ask clarifying questions rather than immediately offering solutions. Resist the urge to interject with advice unless explicitly requested. One of the most connecting things an elder can do is create space for others to fully express themselves. It conveys that their perspective matters too. Ironically, the less you dominate, the more your input is often sought and valued. When people feel genuinely heard, they trust more deeply. You become someone they want to talk with rather than someone they feel obligated to listen to. Pay attention in your next conversation. Are you truly listening or just waiting for an opening to speak? This small shift in awareness can profoundly deepen your connections. Number 2, consistently oversharing medical details. It is a common trope, conversations among older adults sometimes gravitating towards detailed discussions of ailments, medications, and doctor visits. While sharing health challenges can be a way to relate and find support, making it the predominant topic of conversation can become draining for listeners. Everyone understands that aging involves physical changes and health concerns. Authenticity is important. However, when nearly every interaction circles back to aches, pains, diagnoses, and upcoming procedures, it can shift the dynamic from mutual connection to one resembling a clinical update. For family and friends, especially younger ones, constantly hearing about medical issues can feel overwhelming or generate feelings of helplessness if they cannot offer solutions. They might subtly withdraw, not from lack of care, but from emotional fatigue. You absolutely deserve empathy and space to share your experiences. The key is balance. Choose your moments and your audience for deeper health discussions. Critically ensure conversations are reciprocal. Ask about others' lives, share joys, discuss interests beyond health, a good book, a beautiful garden, a funny observation. Your life encompasses far more than medical conditions. People want to connect with the whole person, not just the patient. Focusing on remaining abilities, enjoyed activities, and moments of positivity not only lightens your own outlook, but also makes interactions more uplifting for everyone. Finding this balance is in itself a form of healthy relating. Number 3, speaking with diminished awareness of impact. As the years pass, that internal editor, the little voice that sometimes cautions, perhaps phrase that differently, can soften. We might feel we have earned the right to express ourselves with complete candor. While this can feel liberating, there is a delicate balance between honesty and unfiltered bluntness. If you find your remarks frequently causing others to pause, fidget, or break eye contact, it might be a sign that your words are landing with more sharpness than intended. Perhaps it is a comment about someone's appearance, their choices in life, their relationships, or even their parenting style. You might dismiss it lightly, thinking, I am just being truthful, or people are too sensitive these days. However, honesty delivered without a measure of compassion can often feel like judgment or criticism. Those on the receiving end rarely voice their discomfort. Instead, they may begin to withdraw subtly. Invitations might become less frequent. Phone calls might shorten. They still care for you, but they are protecting themselves from the unintentional sting of unfiltered comments. This does not mean suppressing your thoughts or walking on conversational eggshells. It simply suggests pausing to consider, is this comment truly helpful? Is it kind? Sometimes what feels like expressing a truth is actually venting a frustration, and the impact is heavier than realized. A useful guidepost. If you would hesitate to say it to a beloved grandchild, perhaps reconsider saying it to someone else. The wisdom accumulated over a lifetime is invaluable. When shared with kindness, it draws people closer. When coded in judgment or sarcasm, it can create distance, regardless of your intentions. Your words retain immense power. Let us strive to use them to build bridges, not walls. Number 4, moving through space without awareness. Our physical pace naturally changes as we age. We might move more slowly or cautiously. This is normal. What requires attention is maintaining awareness of how our movement impacts shared spaces. We have all seen examples, someone engrossed in reading a label while their shopping cart blocks an entire aisle, stopping abruptly in a busy corridor, walking side by side with a friend and unintentionally obstructing oncoming pedestrians. These actions are usually unintentional, born from being focused on a task. However, for those navigating around these unexpected obstacles, it can create minor friction and frustration. People rarely comment directly. They maneuver around, perhaps with a sigh or a glance, but repeated instances can lead to perceptions of being inconsiderate or unaware. Others might subconsciously avoid situations requiring navigating shared spaces with you, feeling they constantly need to manage the flow. The issue is not slowness, it is spatial awareness. It is entirely possible to move at a comfortable pace while remaining mindful of others. Keep pathways clear, step aside when pausing, be conscious of the flow of foot traffic. This is crucial in crowded environments like stores, walkways, or event venues. Practicing this mindful movement is a subtle form of grace. It communicates presence, thoughtfulness, and respect for the shared environment. People notice and appreciate this consideration. It marks you not just as an older person, but as a considerate one, moving through the world with quiet dignity. Number 5, appearing helpless when capable. Aging undoubtedly brings physical limitations. Tasks that were once easy may now require more effort or assistance. That is a reality to be acknowledged. However, there is a distinction between genuinely needing help and habitually defaulting to helplessness for tasks still within one's capacity. Phrases like, "Could you just do that for me?" or "I am no good with technology, I will only mess it up," might start innocently. But if they become a pattern for manageable tasks, it can subtly strain relationships. Family and friends might begin to feel more like caretakers than companions, potentially fostering quiet resentment, even if they always agree to help with a smile. Sometimes this pattern stems not from laziness, but from fear of failure, of appearing slow or inept. Letting others take over feels safer, but people genuinely admire effort. Seeing you try, even if you struggle slightly, evokes pride and respect. Children, grandchildren, and friends feel good when they see you actively participating and engaging with life. When you reserve requests for help for tasks you truly cannot manage, the assistance offered feels more meaningful and less obligatory. Maintaining agency is not about pretending limitations do not exist. It is about honestly assessing what you can do, clearly asking for help with what you cannot, and respecting that boundary. Reclaiming small tasks, managing a new device, following instructions, carrying a light bag, builds personal confidence and reinforces your strength and dignity in the eyes of others. True grace lies in knowing when to ask for support and when to stand tall, demonstrating your enduring capability. Number 6, overlooking aspects of personal presentation. One of the most delicate areas, and something people notice almost immediately but hesitate to mention, involves subtle shifts in personal upkeep. I am not referring to significant neglect, but rather the smaller details. Perhaps clothing that looks overly worn or hasn't been changed frequently enough, hair that seems consistently unkempt, fingernails needing attention, or even a faint, lingering body odor. These might seem trivial, but they send quiet signals. Personal hygiene is fundamentally about self-care and self-respect. While these routines are often automatic in younger years, changes in energy levels or daily structure as we age can sometimes lead to a feeling of, why bother? That internal shift, however subtle, is often perceived externally. Loved ones, especially younger family members, may feel awkward addressing it directly for fear of causing embarrassment or hurt. So they might unconsciously adapt, perhaps maintaining a little more physical distance, shortening visits, or refraining from close embraces. Their reaction is less about you as a person and more about the unspoken message conveyed by a lapse in self-care. It can inadvertently suggest a degree of resignation or a diminished sense of self-worth. When we cease to tend to ourselves, others may unconsciously mirror that lack of attention in their interactions, treating us with slightly less warmth or deference. This is not about striving for unrealistic perfection or adhering to fleeting fashion trends. It is about the simple acts: a clean shirt, tidy hair, basic grooming. These acts communicate to the world, and importantly, to ourselves. I am present. I value myself. I respect myself, and I respect our interaction. Your energy speaks volumes, and maintaining personal care is a fundamental expression of that vital energy, inviting kindness, closeness, and dignity in return. Number 7, frequently criticizing younger generations. It often begins as a casual observation, noticing different habits, technologies, or approaches to life among younger people. Back in my day becomes a frequent refrain. Thoughts about perceived shortcomings might slip into conversations. While generational differences are real, constant criticism of kids these days sends a powerful, often alienating message. It suggests a lack of interest in understanding their world, a rigidity stuck in the past. Here is a truth that can be hard to acknowledge. Every generation tends to perceive flaws in the next. But when criticism becomes the default mode, it is often perceived not as wisdom, but as bitterness or judgment. Even if meant lightly, comments dismissing younger generations' values, challenges, or ways of life can feel like personal rejection to them. The result? They may politely nod, but inwardly they shut down. They avoid sharing deeper thoughts or struggles, anticipating judgment. Even within families, a distance can grow. This does not require agreeing with every modern trend or choice. It simply means choosing curiosity over condemnation. Instead of stating, they have it so easy, try asking, what are the biggest challenges you face navigating the world today? This opens doors to understanding and connection, not division. Your value lies not in proving the past was better, but in bridging the gap between generations. Be the steady hand reaching across, not the voice lamenting from afar. When younger people feel genuinely respected and heard by you, they are far more likely to listen, ask for your perspective, and seek your wisdom, not because they have to, but because they trust and admire you. That requires letting go of the need to constantly compare and criticize, and instead embracing connection in the present. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let us move forward. Number 8, relying on humor that has not aged well. A sense of humor is a wonderful asset at any age, easing tension and fostering connection. However, comedic styles evolve. Jokes or teasing remarks that were acceptable or even popular decades ago might land very differently today. Perhaps it is humor based on old stereotypes, sarcasm that borders on cutting, or jokes that poke fun at someone's background, choices, or appearance. You might intend it lightly, perhaps saying, just kidding, or don't be so serious. But societal norms around humor have shifted towards greater sensitivity and inclusivity. Jokes that rely on punching down or reinforcing outdated biases can now feel jarring, disconnected, or disrespectful, particularly to younger people attuned to empathy and respect for diversity. Again, direct confrontation is rare. More often, people might offer a polite, perhaps strained, laugh, and then subtly create distance. This does not mean abandoning humor. It means being mindful. Ask yourself, is this joke funny because it is clever and relatable, or because it diminishes someone else? The most connecting humor, especially later in life, tends to be self-deprecating, observational, or focused on shared human experiences. Humor that lifts rather than lowers. Being able to laugh at oneself shows humility and perspective. Updating your comedic sensibilities demonstrates you are evolving with the times. Thoughtful, self-aware humor keeps the door to connection wide open. Number 9, continuing to wear clothes that no longer fit properly. There is undeniable comfort in familiarity, the well-worn sweater, the favorite pair of trousers. Consistency has its merits. Yet when it comes to our attire, clinging to clothes from a bygone era or items that no longer fit our current shape can send an unintended message. Pants that are noticeably too loose or too tight, styles that are significantly dated, shoes that have lost their structure. These are more than just wardrobe choices. They can subtly suggest a disconnect from the present moment, a lack of attention to one's current self. Others notice, even if they never say a word. It is not about chasing trends or trying to appear younger. It is about presenting yourself in a way that reflects self-respect and acknowledges who you are today. Seeing an older adult in clothing that fits well and appears cared for often evokes quiet admiration. It signals dignity and continued engagement with life. Consider this. Would you wear an outfit to an important event today that you wore 25 years ago without considering if it still fits and feels appropriate? The same principle applies to daily life. Our bodies change, our needs evolve. Dressing in a way that honors your present self demonstrates self-awareness and emotional presence. Dismissing this with, I am comfortable, who cares what others think, misses a nuance. Comfort and care are not mutually exclusive. You can be relaxed and present yourself respectfully. Even simple adjustments, ensuring clothes fit properly, choosing colors that complement you now, can shift how people respond. Not because of the fashion, but because it signifies you are still invested, aware, and value yourself today. That first impression, conveyed through how we present ourselves, continues to matter throughout life. Number 10, the need to always be right. Decades of life experience naturally lead to strong convictions and a sense of knowing how things work. In many ways, this wisdom is earned and valuable. The potential pitfall occurs when the need to assert correctness consistently overrides the desire to connect and understand. This might manifest as frequently correcting others' stories, insisting your method is the only valid one, dismissing new ideas, or shutting down differing opinions with, "Trust me, I know better." Initially, others might tolerate it. Over time, however, interacting with someone who always needs to be right becomes draining. People may start avoiding deeper conversations, withholding their perspectives simply because engaging feels futile or confrontational. Often, this insistence on being right is less about arrogance and more about seeking security or maintaining a sense of authority in a rapidly changing world. But when correctness trumps kindness or curiosity, it isolates rather than validates. True wisdom is not about possessing all the answers. It is about knowing when to share perspective and when to create space for others to explore their own. It involves holding opinions confidently, yet openly. The people we admire most are often those who listen thoughtfully and invite reflection, rather than those who constantly correct. When you relinquish the need to win every discussion, people paradoxically seek your opinion more. Your words gain weight because they are offered thoughtfully, not defensively. Ultimately, how you make people feel, heard, respected, considered, leaves a far more lasting impression than whether you were technically right in any given moment. Number 11, disregarding evolving social etiquette. Certain unspoken social norms shift over time. Behaviors that might have been commonplace decades ago can now cause quiet discomfort in public spaces. Think of speaking loudly on a mobile phone in a quiet area, standing uncomfortably close to others in line, or playing videos audibly without headphones in shared environments like waiting rooms or public transport. These might seem like minor things, but they impact the shared atmosphere. While tolerance levels might have been different in the past, current expectations often emphasize greater awareness of personal space and noise levels. You might not even realize you are doing it. People rarely offer direct correction. Instead, you might notice averted glances, subtle shifts away, or perhaps someone moving to a different location. It is usually not personal, but it reflects a breach of current, unspoken social contracts. These small actions can inadvertently send a message of being unaware or inconsiderate of how one's behavior affects others. Unfortunately, assumptions can be made, sometimes unfairly attributing it to disregard rather than simple unawareness. This is easily remedied by cultivating a gentle awareness of your surroundings. Observe how others navigate public spaces, managing volume, respecting personal boundaries, using technology considerately. Adhering to modern etiquette is not about being rigid. It is about showing consideration. It signals that you are engaged with the present world and mindful of others' comfort. This awareness builds quiet respect, telling people you are thoughtful and adaptable. Grandchildren notice, neighbors notice, and that subtle dignity enhances all your interactions. Number 12, holding firmly to outdated or rigid beliefs. Self-reflection can be challenging, especially regarding deeply held beliefs formed over a lifetime. Ideas and principles that once provided structure and guidance can sometimes harden into inflexible stances that resist acknowledging a changing world. Phrases like, "that is just the way it is," "people are too sensitive now," or dismissing new information with, "I know what is right," might signal this pattern. While confidence in one's views is natural, what others may perceive as resistance to growth or understanding. The reality is that society evolves. Technology, cultural norms, understanding of mental health, communication styles all shift. Digging in one's heels and refusing to even consider alternative perspectives can come across not as wisdom, but as unwillingness to engage with the present. Younger generations are particularly attuned to this. They may not argue, but they might internally categorize you as someone unapproachable on certain topics, someone who will not listen or understand. This creates a barrier to genuine connection. Being open does not mean abandoning your core values. It means being willing to learn, to update your understanding, and to make space for new ideas, even if you do not adopt them all. Curiosity. Tell me more about why you see it that way. Fosters connection far more than judgment. That is wrong. Often this perceived stubbornness masks an underlying fear of losing relevance, of being left behind. But true relevance comes not from clinging rigidly to the past, but from courageously engaging with the present. The humility to say, "I had not considered that," is deeply admirable. It shows you are still learning, still growing, a quality that inspires respect at any age. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 12 below to let me know you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. We have journeyed through these 12 potential blind spots together. As we conclude, I invite you to take a quiet moment for gentle reflection without any sense of judgment. Did any of these patterns resonate? Were there any insights that surprised you? Perhaps there is one small area you feel ready to approach with renewed awareness. Please remember, this exploration was offered with care, intended to empower, not criticize. These are common human patterns, often developed unconsciously. Recognizing them is not a sign of failure, but a testament to your strength and willingness to grow. That is the essence of aging gracefully, not resisting change, but embracing self-awareness, meeting each day with intention, and nurturing connections through conscious effort. It is about continuing to evolve, to connect, and to be a source of warmth and understanding. Keep these gentle reminders in mind as you move forward. Small shifts in how we communicate, listen, present ourselves, and interact can profoundly enhance how others experience us, and more importantly, how we experience ourselves and our place in the world with continued dignity and joy. Thank you for sharing this time with me at Senior Wellness. Your journey matters, and your willingness to reflect is truly commendable. We would be so grateful to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to leave a comment below. Perhaps share one insight that stood out to you today. Reading your reflections encourages us immensely. If you found this conversation helpful, please consider giving it a like, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing to Senior Wellness for more content dedicated to navigating our later years with health, wisdom, and connection. Thank you once again for watching. Stay well, be kind to yourself and others, and we look forward to welcoming you back in our next video.